Welcome, welcome, welcome. Had to make a little bit of a wardrobe change, but we are here with week number 2. My name is Seymour. Alongside me, Cruz. The duo is back and better than ever here for the second week of College COD. And Jesse, before we hop into things, why don't we talk a little bit? Because we had a big weekend for Call of Duty, kicking off the CDL in a major way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was crazy last weekend. This past weekend, we have Canada back on top once again.
Yeah.
I mean, looking fantastic as Toronto Ultra. And I mean, thought we had a great weekend of COD. I mean, we're in for a great night of COD here ourselves here in the CCL as well.
I mean, as two Canadians, a little bit biased on that one, but we don't have to worry about that right now. Right now, what to worry about are the 3 matches we have set up for Alpha on the day. Match number 1, Akron Zips versus Miami Redhawks. Match number 2, UTD COD versus UTA Mavericks, and ICC versus Oklahoma Christian to top off the night. 3 big matchups, but for me and you, Cruz, we're mostly going to be focusing on match number 1, Akron Zips versus the Miami Redhawks, both coming out of the Midwest D division, and both teams facing similar opponents last week.
Yeah, both teams looked really, really good coming off of last week as well. They both finished 2-0 inside of their standings. And then when you look overall, I mean, both teams, they faced off against Rio Grande. They both come away with 3-0, so it's like we're looking at very even matchups here. And then when you look at the second matches for both teams, you get a 3-1 victory for Akron over Wright State. And then when you're looking at Miami Redhawks, another 3-0 victory for them last week as well, looking very, very strong to start the season for both these two teams.
Lots of 3-0s. You have to be wondering what's in the books for tonight. Well, let's take a look over at the head-to-head, Jesse, because both of these squads may have had similar matchups last week, but this week it's looking to be different as one will have to lose for tonight. So let's look at them. Like you said, both teams 2-0, but there is an underlying story between the two.
Yeah, so that 3-1 victory for the likes of Akron Zips, I mean, it was very strong last week. 3 almost 100-point clubs inside of that match. And then the only thing is they lost the Search and Destroy. It was a 6-3 loss. Not the worst, not the best for them. And then when you're looking at the away team and you're looking at the Miami Redhawks, I mean, you can't say anything and fault anything here. Two very strong victories for them. 4-0 in hardpoint record, 2-0 in Search and Destroy record now. Looking much, much stronger than the team that we saw finish off last season. And honestly, this is going to be a very big test for them here tonight.
It is. So why don't we introduce one of these teams finally? The home roster, your Akron Zips. Thieves, the only returning player on this roster, and gaining 3 new friends to go alongside of that. So here they are, your Akron Zips. Player number 1, like I said, Thieves, returning for another season. But joining him, BO, John's Empire, and Storm. Talk to me a little bit about this roster because, like I said, there's some new faces.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of new faces. 3 to be exact from the roster from last season. I mean, maybe only 2 if you count Storm. He was on the bench last year, getting promoted to the starting roster coming in. And I mean, like you said, a very, very talented roster, looking very strong in hardpoint right now. I think the big thing as well is Thieves' hardpoint record last year. He was really, really strong, a 1.8 KD inside of that mode. He's looking to continue again. And I mean, with a 5-0 start to hardpoint this season, they are looking to continue that here.
Yes, they are a dominant team in hardpoint, and that is going to be good to complement them, especially at the start of this season with 3 hardpoints in the rotation. But let's take a look over now and pan this to our away team, where you're looking at the Miami, Ohio Redhawks to be going up against your home team with another returning player, QPan, the only returning player on this one, similar to your Akron Zips. Joining him, Rando, Brewski, and Panda. So similar in the fact that, like Thieves, QPan, the only returning player into this roster. Let's talk a little bit about these new faces.
Yeah, I mean, well, obviously we don't have too much to go off of yet on the new players. We haven't seen them on stream yet, so we don't have a great idea of what we're going to see from those players yet. But I mean, from the fact that they've started 6-0 in map count and a 2-0 record, you know that this team is obviously clicking on all cylinders right now. When you look at QPan, very good player last year, finished with a 2 KD in Search and Destroy, looking to lead the team once again in that way. And this is a big test for this roster coming into today. When you look overall, this team in this division, it is a kind of a wide open division right now. You've got a couple teams who finished kind of, top 64 last year in playoffs, but really, if they can come out and they can get this victory over Akron today, this could very well propel this team to finishing top 3 and getting out of the top cut.
Absolutely cheeky from both of them. I have to say, I'm excited to see these two teams on stream because, like we've been alluding, 3 brand new players on each roster, but that's going to bring us now into the keys to victory for both of them. Starting off with the home team, what are we looking at?
Yeah, so I mean, for the likes of Akron, when you're looking at this roster, obviously very strong start in hardpoint. They need to look to continue their well systematic play in that game mode, continue trying to find victories in that, and then just clean up your S&D a little bit. You lost one last week to a team that you probably shouldn't have lost to Search and Destroy to. That kind of worries me going into this one, going up against a team in the Redhawks that are 2-0 in S&D. So I think that winning an S&D is going to be a big key to victory here for Akron. But besides that, just stick to your game plan, stick to your hard points, and I think that they should be fine here in this series.
You know, Logan, I was talking to him, and he said that Thieves, rocking a 3.8 GPA in mechanical engineering. He's got a brain to him. We got to see that flex into the Search and Destroy now. But, I mean, that's going to bring us to our away team. How are they going to counteract this? What are we looking at for Miami's keys to victory?
Yeah, I think it's kind of opposite for Miami here. I think you need to take one of the hard points and just kind of focus on your Search and Destroy. Your S&D has been very strong so far this season. I believe it was a 6-2 and a 6-1 victory for them. So clearly coming out looking really, really strong in Search and Destroy. And then hardpoint, I mean, they're 4-0, but they haven't faced a hardpoint team like Akron yet. It's going to be a big, big test like we were alluding to when we were talking earlier on. And when when the likes of the Redhawks come out, if they want to win this series, it's going to have to be taking one of the hard points because we're playing 3 still this week in CCL, so it's going to be a tough job for them.
Well, we've talked a lot of speculation about both of these squads. Why don't we take this to the maps and modes, Jesse, and check out where this war is going to be taking place? As you all should know, or if you're just tuning in, this is going to be a best of 5. And with Control joining us next week, not this week, we are still going to be rocking 3 hardpoints, starting off with hardpoint on Tuscan, Search and Destroy on Berlin, and a guaranteed Bocage for map number 3. Back to Hardpoint. Talk to me a little bit, Jesse, because we've been kind of highlighting Hardpoint a lot between both of these squads. Do the hardpoints that we do have, the 3 of them in this, hurt or help the Redhawks?
So I think that Tuscan and Berlin could honestly help the Redhawks because both those maps are very systematic hardpoint maps. If you play systematically correct, you're going to come out and you're going to win the map almost every time. As long as you are rotating and setting up strong for a lot of these maps, you can come out and you can absolutely take one of those 2 maps off of Akron. I think the only one I'm a little bit worried for is Bocage. I think that map, just because of the pure chaos and the amount of good gun skill that we're going to see coming out from Akron, and the fact that Akron is pretty much 100-point clubbed every single team that they played so far in hardpoint, that's the only map I think that really worries me. But besides that, if you're Miami, stick to your guns. Make sure that you are rotating properly in maps 1 and 4. And if you take one of those 2 maps, I don't see a reason why they can't take the S&Ds and win this series.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I like Tuscan. I mean, I like Bocage too for an opening map, but I like Tuscan even more. We saw a lot of Bocage over the weekend at the kickoff. And starting off with the Tuscan, it's going to be a different change of pace, like you said, systematic, focusing on the rotations. But as we're getting these players into it, I mean, kind of highlight a little bit more on Tuscan, like, where is the opening going to be found on this map to find an advantage?
Well, I mean, what's kind of crazy about Tuscan is when you start up on the left side, you're pretty much guaranteed to get to the middle of the map first. So you have an advantage going in towards that first hard point. You can really, really get a good jump on the opposing team. But the big problem here is you don't start off with those good side spawns. You don't start off on the right-hand side. The absolute worst case scenario is starting off on that right-hand side, getting wiped, and then having the team that starts on the left pushing through and flipping the spawn out. Because you're very likely about to get 45 points dropped on you on hill number 1, and then lose the rotation to hill number 2 as well. So I think that's a big one. And then when you're really looking over this whole map in general, Hill 2, really important hill just to kind of set up for, get a decent amount of time. But your main money hills are going to be hills 3 and 4. Those 2 hills can absolutely lead to a good amount of time if you set up the correct way. On hill 3, if you get a player anchored down in the bottom left on the rooftops, it makes players' life so much harder to be able to break into that hill because you're just constantly spawning up. It's like a conga line, one after another, just rotating, getting back inside of the hill. And on the opposing side, you're spawning out back at P1. You have to go so far to get all the way back into that hill. So if you can lock down a lot of time on P3, that's when you're really looking to be able to gain a lot of time and win the map out.
Folks, here a conga line. That is a dance that I don't want to be a part of, personally, when it comes down to it. But, people...
Hey, if it's for coming off spawns, I'm all for a conga line here, Seymour.
Yeah, maybe. It could be fun. I'd rock a conga
Squad
line
spawns, man. They're a lot of fun. What do you mean?
Yeah, we can get into that on another time for sure. But we talked about a little bit with the coach of Akron and how this team looked in scrims. This is a big team. They were 1 game away from making it to the top 32 last year in the 2021 playoffs here for CCL. And this year, talking to him, he says scrims are good with this new team. They've been playing well against top 25 teams. So I like your point on Miami, that the fact that if they come out and if they win against Akron in this form, that might propel them even higher in the CCL stocks.
I mean, I had them in my top 25, so I think I had them at 22. I don't know, so something like that. It was quite difficult to create a top 25 off just last week. But I thought Akron looked really good the week before. Again, only dropping that search and destroy, can't really complain about that. And like you alluded to, I mean, this team was what, one game away from finishing top 32 last season at champs. You can't complain about that. And honestly, this team looks like they've only gotten better in the offseason. And like you said, Logan was talking to us before the game, and I mean, I really think this team, you get a win this week against the team like the Redhawks, you got to almost guarantee that this team will be top 25 next week.
I mean, if they make it convincing enough, they very well could be into that. I do agree with you. I'm like that you're putting them just on the cusp of top 25. This team definitely has the making to make it big. But folks, if you're tuning in, we are here with the first matchup in the CCL week number 2, day 1. It's Monday, and nothing is better than a Monday night with college Call of Duty. Am I right? Come on, let's get it going. But if you're looking for a little bit more, you can always go check out the Discord. Down below, we have the ticker running, the Discord, the store, everything CCL available for you. Back in the After Action Report, we did say if you want to catch up with stats as well, collegecod.com. You can check out everything, check out your favorite team. And also, if you're just tuning in for the first time, supporting your school, let us know on Twitter, hashtag CCL 2022. Make it loud, make it proud. Show some school spirit in Twitch chat, on Twitter, wherever you want to. I'm just excited to have College COD back, Jesse.
I mean, I'm quite jealous of you, if I'm being completely honest. That beautiful CCL sweater that you were wearing in your After Action Report, I need to go cop me one of those, honestly. I like that sweater is fire. And I mean, I'm not sure. Can people still buy that? I'm not 100%. You guys might have to hit Marco up for that one. I'm not quite sure what's on the website still right now, but you're not wrong at all. We do have some fire merch over here in CCL, and you guys should definitely be looking to cop some of that. And like you said, rep your school, tweet out the stream, get people in here to watch College COD. It is literally the best college league out there, and we are here to absolutely dominate 200 plus teams. We're here for a fantastic 2022 season.
And I want to just, if we can, bring up the maps and modes once more just to go over things while we are getting these players situated again into the lobby, because we were looking at things at the start, talking about Tuscan for a map number 1, Jesse, but Berlin for map 2 and Bokash for a guaranteed map 3. Talk to me a little bit about Search and Destroy, because one thing you highlighted about the Zips team is that they lost Search and Destroy last week, so that might be a little bit scary.
I mean, for Search and Destroy, I think the one big thing that I'm looking at for Akron is just kind of playing off of each other a little bit better. You got to think like last week with a loss to a team that they probably shouldn't have lost in Search to. It was probably just a lot of miscommunications. It also could have just been, first week of the season, a little lackluster. So just kind of build on some momentum, try to get some confidence in the game mode, I think is the big thing for me for them here today.
Well, here we are, rolling through Tuscan, rolling through the cinematics. Love this map so much. It just grows on me every single time. Big fan of it when the game came out. Big fan of it even still. But this is what I'm looking for right here. What we're panning around, that Fountain Hill. Such a good hill early on to find a good chunk of time. But right off the rip, we are going to be hopping on board with Arxes. He's going to be leading the charge for Akron towards this game number 1.
Oh, no. How could you do this to us?
That's not supposed to happen.
It's Switchy's fault.
Oh, you can't just blame Switchy.
Come on, Ryan. What are we doing? No, it's Ryan's fault. How dare you?
Obviously not supposed to happen right away, folks. Tuscan does not agree with us right off the start. Sometimes it happens, sometimes
they just don't want us to get into the map right now.
What's a stream of Call of Duty with a few tech issues? It wouldn't be a stream of Call of Duty at that point. So, folks, we're going to head to a quick little break, get things situated, get these players back into the lobby. When we come back, you're watching CCL week number 2. See you there.
Player for the University of Akron. He's running the automaton in his hand right now, so we have 2 full ARs out right now for this team, and this is what makes this roster so good. You have those 2 players who can lock down these long-range lanes of sight, and already doing a great job here. They've got 30 seconds here on hill number 1, and look at player number 3. Thieves has snuck his way all the way through this SMG player, and now players are going to spawn up on him. This is a perfect start here for Akron.
Squad spawns, everybody, coming into full effect now. Player number 1, BO, locking down 2 in the back, locking down these spawns, and even the rotation's going to be there as well. Quick 30 on hill number 1, now looking to expand on that. Brewski in for the dash, big break right off the bat, still 53 seconds, so plenty of time to pull this one back. And on the rotation, look at number 8, Cupid, trying to pull those spawns, just not going to be there. Split from Akron, looking to break back in. Looking to break back in right now. Brewski's going to drop Arxes to shut him down. Nobody collecting this time, and this is really big for Akron.
Very big for Akron, but also a really good break for Miami. I mean, the fact that you're able to break right back into that hill right away and just not allow Akron to start to run this score up, and the fact you're gaining time here on this hill is just a great step here for Miami. But now with 20 seconds left, you need to start focusing on your rotations if you're Miami. We talked about it in the pre-show. Rotations need to be key when you're playing a top team like Akron Zips. And this is another hill where you're watching Thieves sneak his way through the back. He's able to find another kill in the back now. You can't keep letting this happen. Otherwise, this game is going to get out of hand very quickly here for the Redhawks.
I told you, 3.0 GPA, mechanical engineering. Dude's got a big brain. You got to watch out for him. He's always thinking ahead right now. Big stun on the storm. Trying to stay alive. Oh, the chain stun's going to be there. Somehow walks away with a kill into Panda. Almost snaps to Brewski. Here comes BO to lock him down. 3 quick kills. It opens up that point. And now you're looking at Akron to collapse on this hill and start to push their lead even farther.
Look how far away the Redhawks are spawning right now. They do need to be careful right now if you're Akron because you don't have a player on the bottom of the map, but a player does spawn up, so actually their spawn is completely safe at the moment. You can push out of this hill now, push these Miami Redhawks far out of this hill and keep them spawning at P1, and this is looking very likely like it's about to be a full 60 for Akron. That one kill that Thieves was able to get in the back just stopped that entire setup from the Redhawks, broke it down, and gave them such a great chance here to get a good setup on this new hill.
There you go. Big overview of the mini-map. Like you said, on the rotation to Church there, the lock is going to pop up, and you can see in the back, BO and Thieves trying to collapse in hand. Actually not going to get this big time right here for Miami. Thieves, what did you just do to him? Oh my god, he's going to find Brewski as well. The break is good. Panda up next to the block, but is going to be able to trade that one out. This is time again, early to Akron Zips, 104-21. Miami, they just haven't been able to pull themselves back. Now setting up for a break. And for the Kardashian, Q-Pan finally to break back in. But again, the kill's just going to Akron on the outside.
They're just doing a great job. Thieves inside of this hill is a menace right now. Doesn't do it once, doesn't do it twice. He does it 3 times. Finds all 3 players from Miami inside of the hill. Able to shut this push down completely. And this is looking, again, like another full 60. And what is kind of standing out to me right now, Colin, when you're looking over everything and you're looking at the Redhawks, they have let one player on every single rotation so far from Akron slip through, and it has disturbed their setup, hasn't allowed them to get a strong setup, and they're giving up scrap time to set up for these new hills, but you're just not winning the rotations because you're letting players sneak through. We need to be doing a better job of calling out players and really making sure we know where all 4 players are on the map. But this right now, going to hill 5, they have 3 players sitting around the hill. This is their best chance at getting a good amount of time here.
Brewski in a good spot. Shaky shots at first. Able to finish up. Trade from Arxes right away. Get your nades out. Get your stuns out. Get all your utility because Command Center is about to be chock full of them in for the Kardashian. Early break once again from Akron as they are going to get 3 down from the Redhawks. And you see those white arrows setting up for a pinch. Rando looking to stay alive on the outside. Swaps to the secondary. Still getting worked. Another 3 down. The break from Brewski, but only momentarily. Players hunting him down. There it is. Another break back in for the Zips. They're looking to push their lead here. Redhawks to close spawn. They're able to get back in. Q-Pan finds 2. Rando, team nade. That's not going to help you at all. BO just trying to finesse his life on the inside. Does have a little bit of backup, but 19 seconds before we get to the reset into the second set of rotations. And Redhawks, they only have 32 seconds across the first set.
I don't think you could ask for a better start to this game for the Akron Zips. I mean, 168-32 off the opening set of rotations. For the Redhawks to come back into this game now, it's going to take a monumental comeback and a half to be able to come back into this one. Arxes will be the first player here to push right back into this hill. You do have an early setup here for the Redhawks, but once again, you let a player sneak through on Akron. He's able to find the first kill, and it completely disrupts the whole setup. Now you've got Akron right back in the hill.
It's been the name of the game so far. Brewski trying to stay alive through the middle. Rando in the end might have found the opening there. BO shuts it down once more. MP40 in the back pocket. Expects Panda to be there. Finishes the shots as well. Q-Pan to break. Again, big one-on-one. Q-Pan not able to get his gun up in time, but still has a little bit of a teammate there. Brewski to start collecting time. Now, 30 seconds would be huge, but keep your eyes on the rotation. It's Thieves again to do it, Jesse.
I mean, the issue right now for Miami is you're down by so much. when you're looking at the overall of this and you're looking at Akron, all Akron has to do now is just continuously, with 20 seconds left on the hill, push towards the new hill, get an early setup, and there's nothing that Miami can do unless they're going to be instant breaking hills. And honestly, with what we've seen so far in this game, it just doesn't look like we're going to see that out of the Redhawks here. They need to find something to be able to pull themselves back in. But again, an early setup here for Akron. They get a good amount of time. They find 2 right away. You do have the Redhawks spawning towards the top side of the map, but in the back, Storm will find 2, and this just completely slows down and shuts the push down once again here.
I think we've been saying it around all game long. It's not BO, it's Bio for Biohazard, and he has been a menace on the map so far, sitting right 18-9. Double positive. Brewski again for the break here, doubles down on the Thieves. As this huge moment right now for the Redhawks as they're collapsing in. Still the spawns in the back for the Zips. They're trying to stay alive now in this water. Thieves is going to drop the strafing run on that, so should uproot the Redhawks for a moment from that site. But I like this call from the Zips. It looks like they're giving up on that hill too and looking to rotate to the Fountain.
We saw them on Fountain the last time through. It was a full 60 points. They were able to lock down all of the time, give no time to the likes of the Redhawks, and they're looking to do it again here. And this time, if they do it, they can close the game out here, 211-81. And I mean, they're looking to continue on the trend of what they've been doing so early on in the season, and that's just 100-point clubbing team after team after team in hardpoint.
Bio soaking up the time, 2:15-85. We're looking at for the Redhawks to break. It looks like they're setting up through the arches. It's a 1-2 hit. 2 pronged attacks. Bio swings on out. He's going to find Q-Pan. The backup in the back has fallen. Panda gets the break. They flip the spawns. Redhawks again staying alive now inside the Fountain.
This is the Redhawks we've been waiting to see all game long. They should have masked the 100-point club here. They've got Akron spawning out, but the glide bomb will come through. Arcseeds finds 1 as well, but it might not be enough. I mean, they find all the kills in the back, but the players still spawning up for Miami here. They can reinforce this hill. It's only 1, so it's going to be a foot race to the hill here for both these teams. It's just a play for scrap time at the moment. The real rotation is going to be going on over towards the church. And look over here, Rando is at the tank at the back. He's going to try to be able to lock these spawns down here for Miami.
Ooh, Rando, big one-on-one. Look at this, the scrap time go to Akron. They're going to be so close to finishing this game. Should be about 241-99, only 9 points needed. 3 down for the Zips. Q-Pan just looking to push the lane a little bit farther. Slay on out. Arcsee's waiting. Excellent patience from the Zips now looking to collapse. Arcsee's the second one. It's 3 down. And for the break, like I said, only 9 seconds, Jesse, and they can put this away. Where the Redhawks spawning, looking for the side door. Are they going to be able to touch? And oh, Q-Pan's going to drop, and that means the Zips a huge statement map 1 to open up the series.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I think once they started off the game, what was it, 170-30 on the first set of rotations, I think we knew Akron was going to walk away with that one. But Redhawks, they don't get 100-point club. They're able to pull out of it. And honestly, toward the back half of that game in the second set of rotations, they looked a lot better. It's just unfortunate that you fell down so early, so big to the likes of Akron, because that is a tough team to be able to come back on. And I mean, you start off so rough there for Miami. You keep letting players on Akron slip through, and they just kept disrupting your setups. Every single time you looked like Miami had a good setup ready to go, it was Akron. They found it was, and it was mostly Thieves, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah.
Continuing on from last year, that 1.8 strong KD and hardpoint, just continuing on here, pushes through the back, finds 1, finds 2 even sometimes on the rotation. Route man gets paid, and Akron, they absolutely get paid with a 1-0 start here in the series.
Without a doubt. I want to put some spotlight on Bio as well. I mean, at one point, I called him out. 18-9, double positive. What a game to this. New kid on the block and fitting in like a slim glove. Like, this is amazing from the Zips. Big step up from last year, you know, looking really good in the hard points like we expected them to carry over. But now we're heading into Search and Destroy for the second map. And last week, we got a little bit of a hiccup, a 6-3 loss inside of Search. I mean, Berlin, it's where we're headed. Jesse, this is going to be where we're really going to put Akron now to the test and see, fundamentally, have they stepped up their searching game?
Well, one thing I'll say for Akron right now, just going and looking into Search and Destroy, with the fact that we're going to Berlin for our next match, and I'm looking overall, just from how strong their 2 ARs looked in that first map, really gives me a lot of confidence for them going into this map number 2. I know like they're 1-1 on the mode in the year, and Miami's 2-0. It is what it is. Stats, you can take them as you want them, but just from the fact of how that first map just went, it looks like Akron's ARs are just on point right now. I mean, you had, like you said, Bio playing very, very well. Main AR go burr in his hands right now because he played extremely well in that first map. And then when you also have Storm, who was running the AR and doing it to an extremely high level. Bench player last year, starting roster this year, absolutely making his presence known. If they can run through Berlin and lock down those long-range lines of sight like you can through middle of the map or through towards the B site, this team is going to have a very, very good time on that map mode combo.
And now we're looking at the Redhawks. You know, it is a big map now. You don't want to fall 2-0 into this, especially when we're going back to a hard point. You just saw what happened. Bokaj is map 3. Like, that is dangerous. Map number 3, when you look at how good the Zips are at slaying out. So talk to me a little bit about Berlin. Where are you looking at this team to shine? Where do you need them, or where do you need them to step up?
Well, I mean, for the Redhawks, I think it's absolutely. I think you need your ARs to kind of step up to the plate. They got dominated in that first map by Akron. I think right towards the end, we saw Rando win one big AR gunfight towards the back tanks. And I mean, when you're looking at the overall map, I mean, you win one big gunfight, that's not going to win you a map. So he needs to do a little bit better of a job here. He looked to be the main AR. I'm not 100% on that, but from just what we saw in that first map, he looked like he was the main. I think he needs to step it up a little bit here. I honestly would like to see Miami pull out a sniper here as well in Surge. I think if you pull out the sniper, you go over towards the B site. I think you can lock down a lot of long-range lines of sights, and if you can take out those AR players early on, that's maybe could be a key to success here in Surge for them.
Yes, please. Yes, yes. Bring out a sniper. There's nothing. I mean, we just got deprived of a sniper for a whole year. I want to see the sniper.
I want to see it as much as possible.
I want to see them be flashy. And honestly, Berlin, it's a good opportunity. I mean, you look how wide open it is down to the boulevard, and there's a good opportunity to have a sniper come out to play. Now, maybe not so much on attack. You don't normally see attackers bringing out a sniper, most notably on the defensive side. And that's going to bring out to see how these teams really flex into counter sniping, because that was a big thing to see over the CDL kickoff is how are teams going to get around those snipers? How are they going to work their magic? Well, I think that's when you got to put some limelight onto QPan as a submachine gun player to look to run around. You know, leaving this team, you need to start to see the Redhawks be a little bit more proactive, especially in search and destroy. You don't want to fall behind into the same patterns.
Yeah, counteracting snipers is going to be a really, really big thing that we see throughout the entire season. Because, I mean, clearly snipers are strong. The players wanted to GA them early on in the season. Don't you dare GA those things.
No.
We absolutely need snipers inside Search and Destroy. It makes the game so much more fun to watch. I mean, not like that. Not that the S&D isn't fun to watch in general. My favorite game mode personally, but it's just always nice when you have snipers out. It's a great big play potential. But like you said, in terms of counteracting them, you need to make sure you get those players, those sneaky submachine guns, sneaking through the middle of the map. Maybe you can find entrances in through fire, in through mailroom to get behind these snipers and hopefully be able to find your way to shut them down, because snipers, like you said, they can be a big presence on this map. I think another thing I want to look at when you look overall on this map as well is the head games that you can really play. If you 4-hit the A site right off the rip and you go into the office, and you get a bomb down there easily, it is like holding down the A site or holding down P1 in hardpoint. It's very, very easy to do. So if you're Miami here, I think you try to throw as many head games as you can at Akron off the start of this game. You go, you do a big 4-man hit towards B, you get the bomb down, you hold on, you got to make sure you win the gunfights after. And if you're able to do that, it will keep Akron guessing for the entire game.
You know what I was surprised about over in the CDL kickoff? Were how many dock hits we saw. You know, I think majority of these teams were opting to go get the bomb down over on docks. I think it provides a really good post plan if you can get it down. And the fact we have smokes on, why not? I mean, you just look at this as we pan through over towards the office bomb site. There are a lot of corners to check going into here. And that is just something that is a question mark when you are as an attacker pushing that. As I do expect a lot more teams to kind of take into the same effect, start hitting more towards the B site, but right off the rip, like red a day.
Yeah, there's only one player here for Miami right now, so big job on the Like a Panda right now. He needs to make sure he at least gets one, and if he can get one and get out with his life, that could be absolutely huge to shutting down this push. He's just going to be playing this close corner. He will find Arxie, so he does get that first kill. You know, he is still alive, so this is a great start here for Miami in terms of being able to hold on to this A site. It actually looks like Akron might be trying to rip this bomb and take it out of the site.
With the collapse, Baruski all the way in the spawn already. And behind, QPan's going to find Bio. One last player, Thieves in a 1v4, is able to make this not so flawless for the Redhawks. He has bomb as well as soon as he heals up. It looks like he is just trying to finesse the mental game right now of the Redhawks, see if he can gamble his life onto whichever hit, but QPan's still alive. Not sure if they saw each other, but I like this play from QPan. From up top, he's going to spot him out, throw some shots in, and finish the job.
I was getting a little worried there, I'm not going to lie. Miami, Ohio, you guys need to play a little bit more together here. Like, that 3-man hit. I mean, if QPan loses this gunfight in the back, that is another isolated gunfight. Yeah, Panda was there. He might have been able to, get into it towards the end, but they were looking very separated. If you get into big man advantages, you need to make sure you're playing it out. But a huge first blood comes in there from Panda off the start of the round, able to really shut down that A site completely. Akron looked lost once they got that first blood. They didn't know where they wanted to go with the bomb. Once they found the second kill as well, made life that much easier for the Redhawks to close out the round. And it looks like the Redhawks, they fancy an A hit themselves here. QPan will be leading the way with the submachine gun, just trying to find any opening. They actually dropped the entire glass here. So a lot of lines of sights have been opened up inside the round, and being tagged up immediately, QPan's just going to back up. He doesn't want to lose his life this early.
Rando's got a big job right now. As you look at it, Zips are putting a lot of pressure on the back spawn. I think Bio has actually slipped the line. So, Rando, you got to be aware of this one. Storm's going to find QPan. Heavy hitter off the board yet to get us to the A site, as looks like this is going to be on board. Thieves going to be there. 2 players to worry about. Hops on out. Oh, a team kill from Storm. Gets the job done on Dabrowski, but not the way you want to have that. 3v2. Rando still alive in the backline. Trying to finesse his life. Is making a lot of noise. Caught reloading. Bio is going to get the shots off. Rando still finding the kill. Last alive, though. A 1v2. Let's see if Akron are going to be a little bit more composed than the Redhawks this time around.
Look where that bomb is, though.
Not
that is not a good spot for that bomb to be in by any means. Rando, not only is he going to have to take 2 one-on-one gunfights here, but he's got 20 seconds to hightail across the map, get the bomb in courtyard, and get this bomb down. And by the time he gets it, he's only going to have 1 spot to go. It's to that A site, and look who's in there. Storm's waiting for him.
Rando. Oh, did he see this? He did. 1v1. 7 seconds.
Though.
No time. I think Arxes knows this, and if he actually gets there fast enough, he might be able to take the gunfight, but no, you guessed wrong, and that's going to be Akron now, moving up by 2.
Yeah, I mean, really, really good round there from Akron. I mean, much better than what we saw in that first round. They not only are able to find the first blood for themselves, but also just they really slowed down their pace of play there. And once they did that, I mean, you got that bomb down in a terrible spot. You left Miami in a horrible spot to really try to get that bomb, as we saw at the very end of that round there. But I think the big thing for Miami is Rando keeps his streaks there, so he is on 3. I'm not sure if we're playing to 5 or 7. I think it's 7 now. Correct me if I'm wrong, Seymour. But so it's going to take a little bit longer still to take that glide bomb. The glide bomb and search and destroy can be a huge amount of information.
Oh, over the Kobe. Oh, QPan gets the kill. Fees. The trade. Bio barely alive. I think Rando did tag him up, but that bomb down is going to call for the rotation. Still a 2-on-2 as we lay even. Panda finding Bio, getting the job done in the back there. But now look at Akron. They have to recover this bomb. You look at how disconnected the 2 are. If Redhawks can stay together, isolate one of the 1v2s, make this a definite 1v2. This is going to be huge. Look at this. We're about to get a big confrontation in the back. Number 5 snaps around. Good timing from Brewski. Now 1v2 in the site. It's Storm to clutch up.
Yeah, and Storm should have an idea of at least where one of these players are now that his teammate fell, but a really, really tough spot. I honestly thought the Redhawks were going to play that out like how you would when you have the bomb down, because I thought they would have noticed. But Storm, I thought he got the timing on the 1, but they have a player watching over instead. So Miami, they'll stick strong here on defense so far. Only defenses have been 1 actually so far here. Oh my God, Brewski, I don't even know what he was hiding under there. But he absolutely had the overwatch over his teammate. It's a little bit of a bait and switch there, but didn't even have to switch out, just able to find the full kill.
Hiding in the back. You never expect it. You never expect the player to be in the back of the map like that. But Brewski, I mean, you just proving even more why you got to check your corners. It helps. It really does help. So good opportunity there now for Redhawks to bring this back to an even game. They find their first on the board, and it's like they're headed to B this time around. You look at player number 1, Bio. Is he going to get here in time? It's QPan answers first here. Big first blood on Arxes. Now Bio last alive, and he's spotted out. 2 kills. Bombs going down.
Well, both teams stuffed at A, so on both teams' offensive rounds on their second try, they go towards this B site, but much more successful here for the Redhawks. And I think we're starting to see why Akron may have lost that S&D last weekend. It just seems like once they lose a player here in these rounds, they seem to fall apart. They don't really know where they want to go, how they want to play the defenses on these rounds here. And Thieves by himself once again, 1 versus 4. He tried to do it earlier on. He only got 1 in the round. And yeah, this is just not looking like a good spot. He busts through the door. He is able to find 1. It is an isolated gunfight as well, but he's going to get called out. I'm sure he's going to get cleaned up here.
Oh, good opportunity for a 1v1 against QPan. But yeah, the collapse is going to come through. They get the job done. The Redhawks tie us up 2-2. And Thieves, you have to understand, 1v4, I like how sneaky he was being, but eventually you got to burst through the door. And by the time he does, I think that Redhawks just had a really good handle on that situation.
I mean, 1v4 situations are absolutely never fun to play.
No.
So completely understandable why he's able to walk away with the game victory there, or with the round victory there, I should say. But nonetheless, Miami still off to a really good start here. Now Brewski actually on 4 in a row as well. I'm not sure. He may have gotten the ace in that. I'm not 100%. But still, just really, really good start here. We haven't seen anything from Akron on offense so far as well to lead me to believe that they're going to be able to take a round victory. But a 3-man push over towards A. You do have a player sitting in the back of train station as well to watch the flank. So this is looking like possibly their best setup here so far. But a player already drops an Arcsy, so an already a man advantage for them.
I like the call from Redhawks this time around, Jesse. Instead of putting somebody in A, they just take control of the middle courtyard. They kind of work around the zips, and they just get in behind them, find first blood, and it just expands and keeps the snowball going and going. And next thing you know, Bio's in a 1v4, and he's 0-5 inside Berlin. The Redhawks now, they flipped a 2-0 deficit to a lead.
Yeah, I mean, they absolutely have. And it's just been finding that first blood and then playing together after it, and that's how they're winning these rounds out. The issue I had with the first round, and the reason why they lost that first round, was after they got the first blood, it was just a couple of players all around from Akron were able to just get individual gunfights. But since then, Miami has clearly changed up their mistakes. Brewski's on 5 now. He does have the glide bomb, so it is at 5 this time. And so once they get that, though, it makes life that much easier for these players.
Here we go. Glide bomb. So much information to be gained as well. And this is dropping right on down. Bio, see you later. See you next round. Bomb's going down on B, and this is going to be exactly what I was expecting from these teams. A post plant towards the B side. It's hard to break. You got to find some of these players, but Brewski, again, making the route open in the back line, has so much action right there. Look at this. Look at this. Q-Pan still lingering too. He's going to find Storm now. Only 2 players left on the zips, and you can see flooding on in are the rest of the Redhawks. Arcsy is going to fall. Thieves for the trade. 2v1 with 23 seconds left. They know exactly where Thieves is going to be. It looks like the Redhawks are on a very good road to their 5th round.
That post plant setup was absolutely insane from the Redhawks. I mean, yeah, you're in a 1 versus 2 now, but you give them nothing. Thieves isn't going to be able to walk away with this round with the time that's left here, and the fact that you have 2 players surrounding you. But wow, they get that bomb down, and not only do they get the bomb down, but then you have Thieves who sits back inside your spawn, basically just in a spot kind of outside train station. Rando picks up this spot in the back of the courtyard, so he can just kind of watch over everything. He can see all of the docks, watch the bomb. Nobody's going to get through that. And then one player pushed out to docks to the top of the crane. They had absolutely every angle watched. The only spot that Akron could come through was the middle of the map, and once they came through, they would have just had a crossfire from hell set up from the Redhawks.
You're hoping that Redhawks, I mean, one of their keys to victory were finding the search and destroys where the zips didn't look good last week in this mode. This is a chance to exploit that this time around and go even into the series. Oh, Storm, information there. Spots the nade to be thrown. Bio opens up. I think that was a sniper.
It did sound like it.
That's going to be a big opening now. Straight comes down, floods the players to force these gunfights, and Storm's going to find a second one, allowing Thieves to get this bomb down. But, ooh, I think Q-Pan hears him. And here's him, and no bomb for you.
Gotta love audio cues. Unfortunate there, but Q-Pan, he will hear that bomb, get him planted, able to challenge in, get that gunfight win. But Storm will win a huge one inside of Mail, so this gives them back the man advantage going over towards Akron. And it's just going to leave Q-Pan here all by himself. Automaton, you got to think, too, if you're Akron, you know that he's in the vicinity. He already dropped one of your players on that B site, and now that he's shot, his position's given away. I don't even know if you plant the bomb here if you're Akron, or if you just play a 2v1 gunfight.
Q-Pan, though, he has an opportunity for a 1v1 because the bomb is getting planted, Jesse, just to push the time to 45. Q-Pan relocates now, flips the map out.
Oh,
I don't know if they heard that Storm. 1v1? Well, he's going to wrap right around. Look at the way that Bio's playing this one. Just taking control of the docks. He knows that he has complete reign over this half of the map, and Q-Pan is going to have to rotate into that site. Bio's going to get this 24 seconds, and it is a game of hide and seek right now.
Q-Pan has no idea where he is.
It's just a guessing game at this point, Jesse. And then finally, he sees him, gets it behind. Oh my goodness, Q-Pan! The clutch play, and he shuts down the map.
Absolutely does. Redhawks 6-1 victory after a 1-1 start. Huge game here. It's going to tie our series up at 1-1 for the Redhawks to get that final bomb to fuse. And I mean, what did we say about Q-Pan coming into this one, Seymour? 2.7 or 2.17 KD last year in Search and Destroy, and absolutely proving why here. What did he finish off? 10-3 in the Search and Destroy. Crazy stat line for himself, able to come away with a huge game 2 victory, tie us up. And it was, you're absolutely right, it was our key to victory for Miami. You need to come out, you need to win the searches, and you need to steal a hard point. Now, you know what, they've done the later, you've gotten the search game 1, but now you got to take a hard point, and that's going to be the tough part, because you only got the 2 game modes inside of control right now, or sorry, inside of Vanguard right now. We don't have control. I'm a little tongue twisted right now, but it's all good. And I think the big thing is, when you're looking at hardpoint, you got to play it 3 times. These teams need to be putting a lot more focus on their hardpoint so that they can come out and they can take these series, because you don't have control to fall back on right now.
The COD timing gods came into effect there, not in favor of Bio. They had a good chance to win that round out, but QPen ices up, clutches up, and wins out the search and destroy. We're sitting 1-1 right now after the hardpoint and the search. We're headed to map number 3 in Bocage, coming up next after this break. See you guys there. Welcome back. Short little break, but we are here with the swing map now. Map number 3, Bocage hardpoint, is after we sit. It is Redhawks versus the Zips. 1-1. 2 dominant maps as well, Jesse. So when we take a look at the maps and modes, this is a little bit of a recap of what we got in map number 1 and 2. A 250 to 10, what was it, 108? Yeah, blowout inside Tuscan. And a 6-1 answer back from the Redhawks. This is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it was basically a blowout followed by a blowout the opposite way. And you know what? Honestly, Colin, when we look over the series and we talked about it coming off the top of the show, this is kind of what we expected to see. We saw Akron looking very good in hardpoint throughout all of CCL so far. And then Redhawks, that are still undefeated in S&D, 3-0 now on the year. They've looked very strong in terms of their 2 victories. It was a 6-1 and a 6-3 over Rio Grande and over Louisville. So, I mean, if you're the Redhawks now, you need to win a hard point. And that's absolutely step number 1. You won't get to the other search and destroy without winning one of these modes. And now the question comes, Colin, and I said off the top that I liked map 1 and I liked map 4 for them because those are systematic hard points. But what, with how badly they got beaten map 1, well, it could have just been a bad map for them. You never know. But also, maybe they just need the chaoticness that is Bocage hardpoint that we're about to see next.
You know, I like that because, you know, when you highlight that maybe a team is a lot better on the fundamentals, looks like Zips have really ironed things out inside the hard points for the rotations, for the way they work together. Redhawks, they just need to shake things up, and a little bit of a dance in the cage. That might be exactly what they need. Bocage is going to be interesting at that. It's always exciting. It's always fun, but what it isn't is fundamental in the rotations. You got to be just slaying out.
That is a great point. Absolutely.
You got to be slaying out. You have to find the scrap time, and you just need to dominate on this map. There's nothing more than that.
Yeah, there's no place to hide inside the cage that is Bocage. It is a very, very scary place. We should see 3 subs here, so I'm actually kind of interested to see what Storm looks like on the sub as well for Akron. We've only seen him on the automaton so far through those first maps. So, I mean, maybe that could be an answer as well. We could see Miami come out and have a much better map here because of it being a 3-sub map. Only time will tell, but here we are, starting us off Bocage hardpoint. You got Akron starting in the blue on the left, Redhawks starting in the white, and it's a great start off for the Redhawks here. They get a good 10 seconds right off the rip from hill number 1, but this first hill is extremely hard to get a good amount of time off.
So far, so good. 10 quick seconds. But if you're looking at Akron, I mean, they have what could be the better spawns of this, so you have to be looking to kind of dethrone these players from this spawn. Rando, it's going to start now as he's going to have an opening all the way up the top north of this mini-map. He's going to be pushing into the back. What a kill from Panda. This is 22 seconds in this first hill. I wasn't expecting from the Redhawks, so they lose the rotation battle, and Akron, they can answer right back here inside this.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is with this map, though, is like you never truly lose the rotational battle because you can just get right back inside of the hill so quickly. I think only P5 is like your really true money hill here because of just how quick, how you can set up for it and actually hold down a spawn. But when you're looking overall at this, if you're Miami, yeah, you lost the spawns, but if you get all these kills here, you're just going to spawn out Akron in the bottom left. Unfortunately, it doesn't come through as you see a 4-man kill feed come through for Akron and a really good setup now looking for them as they have Miami spawning on their right-hand side exactly where they want them.
You're right. We're on board with Storm. Pre-firing a little bit. Just a little warning shot, you know. Finally finds Rando. Oh, the shots were a little bit shaky. And Rando says, no can do, bud. Still, the kills come through the way the Zips 3, the blue. as it is bleeding right now as the spawns flip on over. That's going to be Zips now having the ability to spawn up towards the granny side of things, and still a contention on board. Storm's going to lose one-on-one. Now Brewski collecting time for the Redhawks, maintaining the small lead that they do have. Is 10 seconds. We're going to be headed to Grandma's, Jesse.
Hate to say it, but I mean, I feel like I don't think Storm would have lost some of these gunfights if he had an automaton in his hand at the moment. So clearly the sub not working out as well as he started off in that first hardpoint. 6-6. It is a hard map though to get a good KD on, but I mean, right off the first two hills, you got to be looking at Panda for the Redhawks. Off to a very good start here at 7-4. He's inside of the new hill as well, but an instant break comes through from Akron once again. Close spawns will be here for Redhawks though, so they can reinforce quickly.
Storm's on the inside. Holding on around the outside, and you're right. And the MP40 is just not working. Panda now is going to work with Rando to open things up. It is Akron trying to break back in. A little bit of utility to keep him at Bay 3 go down. And I'm kind of laughing on the inside a little bit because I'm looking at Bio, and he's got half the amount of engagements that he did have on Tuscan already. And we're only 3 hard points in.
Yeah, it's definitely a very engagement-heavy map, if you will, but Akron, I mean, they're doing a very good job of playing this one from the backside. They don't allow the Redhawks to get a good amount of time here, and they haven't flipped the spawns out either. So Akron, they still hold on to the barn spawns. They can still try to reinforce this a little bit if they want to, but with only a few seconds left on the hill, it will be the full flip of the map over towards the barn side. And I mean, this is looking like a really good setup because you still have the Redhawks spawning up over in Grandma's.
Rando's been on fire, maybe 8-6, but winning some really important gunfights. Panda's going to drop 3, drop for the Redhawks. It's going to be time now to Akron. Looking to close this distance. Maybe even get a lead change here as we have a player slipping the line as it's about to get a little bit personal for the Redhawks on the inside. RC snaps over. Can't finish it off Panda. It's going to be Storm now to close things on out. And still Zips holding on to this hill, Jesse. 31 seconds. You're looking at Redhawks to try to break back in together. Waiting for respawns to come in. Setting up now. Collapsing. After one, Rando for the break in for the connection. Storm still staying alive, but only momentarily. As you finally get the break for the Redhawks, they take down Bio. They might flip things out.
Well, Bio's on 4. He can find streaks here. Glide Bomb could be absolutely massive for the next hill. He does get the Glide Bomb, and they have the early setup going over towards the new hill. You see 3 players spawning up on that side of the map, so they don't even need to invest the Glide Bomb here unless things get really shaky throughout the back half of this hill.
Oh, this one a money hill. Pants looking to shake things up a bit. Here comes the Glide Bomb. I love this. Now Akron, they have to flood on out. They have to take the gunfight, so the Glide Bomb's going to get nothing. Redhawks, though, off the back of it, they get into the hill, Jesse. That is the big thing. That what you're looking at. Let's see if they can hold on. Thieves, Arxie's around the outside. They're going to double down. Q-Pan escapes into the tunnel. As Akron's going to get back into this hill, but Redhawks doing a great job at slaying on out. Panda's going to find another one. Nobody in the hill at the moment. Bio's finally going to jump on in with that streak that he does have. Brewski to take him out. 27 seconds here, still a fight as this is going back and forth inside this hill number 5. What normally is a money hill is right now such a scrappy time between the Redhawks and the Zips.
But these back 15 seconds, you got to think these should go the way of Akron. Look at where the Redhawks are spawning. That's exactly what Akron needs towards the back half of this. And you know what? Bio still has his Glide Bomb there, so I'm not sure if it was Akron that invested the Glide Bomb. It might have been Miami off the start of that hill to try to get a bunch of time into it, and it works out perfectly for them. You're only down 14 seconds. You were down, what, 140 at the end of the first set of rotations inside of Tuscan, so it looks like Bakaj is exactly what the Redhawks needed to bounce back here in this series and possibly take a hard point here.
Sometimes you just need things to be crazy, Jesse. And that it is here inside the cage. A little bit of a rage. 101, 100. Basically a tie game right now. How scrappy this hill number 1 can be. Brewski on the front line. Storm to double down onto 2. The breaks coming through from the Zips, and they are actually flying right now through the back of it. Storm leading the charge to try to uproot these spawns in the back and flip things out right now for Akron. He's trying to work his matching the backline, but it's coming to Brewski. He's going to win that out. No, Brewski shuts him down, and Redhawks are going to maintain their rotation right now.
Yeah, look what Redhawks are setting up to do right now. They're just trying to pinch on this final player inside barn. They find him, and with 12 seconds left, they're just putting full focus right now. They want this new hill. Akron says, okay, you know what? We'll just grab the last 10 seconds of scrap time here. Let's rotate over towards the new hill. And actually, that gunfight through the middle of the map, it opens up a big line, but 2 players fall. Redhawks should have a good setup here to start us off.
Somebody's actually in the back line. Can't be quite the needle
right now. Thieves, of course.
Of course it's Thieves, yeah. Bio finds 2 on the front line. Thieves striking from the back. Rando, see you later, bud. Back on the respawn now. Akron, even with the Redhawks inside of Bokash. Bio's going to find another one on 3 in a row. Still has the Glide Bomb as well, so you find 5. You might be doubling up on these streaks. It's 4 in a row. Looking for a second Now in the back here, Q-Pan's gonna spot him. Mel, what are you doing, Bio? I thought he was gonna escape, but no, Akron. They're gonna hold on to this time, still 26 seconds, and you look at Thieves now, it's his turn to play in a little bit of a sandbox. That is the front line right now of Bokosh. This team's turning up. He finds the rotation. Can't finish on a Q-Pan, though. Finally gonna get that 4 down now for Redhawks. And yeah, you said it. Another glide bomb in the pocket of the Zips.
Absolutely the best hold that we've seen so far today. That was, what, a 40-second hold there on that second hill. Miami, they're going to need to answer back with a big hold for themselves here. Only down 35 seconds, so absolutely not out of the cards to make a comeback back in this game yet, but this is the biggest deficit that we've seen here so far for the Redhawks. And Brewski doesn't see him in the corner, so it's going to be another kill for Akron. They can start to try to reinforce this hill, but we saw this the last time onto this hill. The Redhawks, because they've put so much focus on holding onto these spawns on the back right, they're able to just keep reinforcing this hill, and this is where we saw them start to build a lead in the last set of rotations, and they're starting to come back into this game once again.
That was what, like 8 down in a row, making 9. Q-Pan's on a 5 streak, trying to find the strafing run, but looks like he's gonna have to dip on out. Goes for the beatdown. Thief shuts it down before things get out of hand. So glide bomb locked down, no strafing run. We're back to even, 155 to 155. Still playing though inside the battle. That is Grandma's. Arc sees for the break. Last 11 seconds aren't gonna be quite influential now to the rest of it. But if you look at the Redhawks, just saying, forget about it. We need this rotation to Barn and Rando. He's on the case.
Barn the last time through, super contest heavy hill from these two teams. It was just kind of reinforced from both sides consistently. Neither team really able to get a good amount of time on it, and it's looking very similar here until you get a 4 down from Akron. But split spawns do come through, so you do have the opportunity now for Rando in the back to make a big play, kind of force some of these Akron players to look behind him. But as soon as he falls, the entire focus for Akron goes towards the front of the hill. They can start to reinforce.
Akron might be dominating in the slaying, but Redhawks keeping this close. Only a 3-point game. Banda gets slid on Arxie's break. Back in for Kadesh, and 3 down for Redhawks. It is going to be a full 4 now. Time to be gained in the Zips, and see Storm watching on the outside. 3 in a row. Stunned up. Finds his 4th. Working for the glide bomb, but no, Brewski shuts him down before that happens. You're looking at this hill 5. Plenty of streaks right now for Akron to use. You have to be thinking that this could be big, but Thieves on a big rotation. What a win.
I think we have 4 streaks inside of the lobby right now. 3 on the legs of Akron. You have 1 for the Redhawks at the moment, but I mean, if this hill starts to get out of case or out of turn for the Akron Zips, they can absolutely just drop glide bomb after glide bomb onto this hill. It's really only Q-Pan who can answer back with the glide bomb of his own. Xerxes finds nothing with his, and the rest of the Redhawk players can actually reinforce this from the left. They might be able to just jump right back into this hill because I think they have the high ground right now.
Rando in the break. Q-Pan 3 down. Thieves still alive on the outside on that little dirt mountain, trying to work his life. You're holding these squad spawns as well. Still with the Shriek on in. Like you said, the Shriek can be used to break things open once more. Rando's going to fall here for the break, but not finding the kills just yet. Finally, Arxes and Thieves, they break on in. They dismantle this hold right now that the Redhawks have. Storm now looking to get in for time. Big help from Bio. He's going to find Q-Pan. 17 seconds left on this hill. And Akron in a good spot to get a majority of it. Whose Shriek is this?
It's probably an Akron streak. Oh, we won't know because it never comes through. But the fact that Storm got hit with it makes me think that it's very possibly could have been a Redhawk streak coming through towards the end of that hill. And I don't know how I like that. If that's how Q-Pan streak gets used, doesn't really find a lot of value out of it. And now Akron, they can just try to reinforce this once again. They do have that big buffer now built up. Almost 50 seconds is the lead into their favor. So with only needing 30 seconds to close this one out, they can try to do it here. But realistically, all you need is a good rotation of P2 and this game is over.
Right now, you might just need a good hold on this first hill. 20 seconds left, and that could be it. On board with Arxes, soon to fall. 3 down for the Zips. Redhawks staying alive so far. You just got to make it to Grandma's. You just need to make it to Grandma's, and that is where you've been slaying inside Bokosh. But you can see that right now Zips putting a heavy emphasis on the rotation over to Hill 2. They got a majority of time. I think a whole 50 seconds on that last one, so that very well might be the end of the game here. The break into the hill, but Bio knows the win condition, and he's going to forget about it.
And Bio has full streaks once again on 7 in a row. Main AR on the Akron Zips. And I mean, he's been so good today here so far. Only 10 seconds left needed. 4 Zips to close this one out, and look how far away the Redhawks are spawning.
Big win. That's 8 in a row. Make it 9 in a row. Can you give him double digits? No. Rando says, hell no. Here come the streaks from Thieves. Only 3 seconds left. Akron in for the Kadesh here. Panda looking to break. Stay alive for the moment. His teammates here to break on out to kind of stay alive, stay afloat inside of Bokash. More streaks to be had. Storm's going to fall. Panda on the left is going to be good for one. Rando to stay alive on the inside. Big win and that. The break from Arxies, and he's going to shut this down. Akron, they find the cage. And they go up 2-1.
That was a much, much closer hard point, though, throughout the rest of it than what that 50-point score line tells you at the end. Practically tied at the end of the first set of rotations, but it was really the second set of rotations, P2, that's when you really started to see Akron bring their game right back into their favor. They got, what, a 40-point lead there, the biggest lead we had seen throughout the game. And even with a big answer back from the Redhawks on P3, it just wasn't enough. You just kept seeing them because they finally got that big lead. They got that winner's advantage. They started just having to rotate early, setting up, getting that big advantage in terms of not having to play for scrap time, being able to set up, and it makes the life so much harder for the Redhawks because not only do you have to play for scrap time, but then you also have to rotate across the map, try to win those rotational gunfights. And it kind of felt like what we saw in Tuscan towards the end of that game, where it was just Akron constantly getting a player in behind, constantly getting the spawns, and just able to reinforce so often that they came alive and they were able to take it away at the end.
And your speculation was kind of true right there. I mean, Bokash, when it got a little bit scrappy, when it got a little bit dicey inside that, you take away really the fundamentals of hardpoint and you're just letting your guns talk. I mean, Redhawks, they looked really good on that map. It's just when you started to see the lead pull from Akron, it just kept on snowballing to their favor. We look at the stats and look at how much Akron outslayed them. Everybody, 30 kills plus. You said Bio, 9 kills in a row just at the end to kind of close things out for themselves inside the map. And you look over at the likes of the Redhawks, and I mean, a lot of them struggling to just pick up that gun skill that Akron are dominating them with.
I think a big thing when you're looking at these overall stats as well, Colin, is look at the non-traded kills on the likes of Akron. You have almost 100 non-traded kills for Akron versus what, maybe 60 to 80 there. I can't do quick maths like this, but it looks somewhere around 70 for Miami. So not nearly as many as you had for Akron. And Akron really, you got to think that when you're able to get 26 non-traded kills on 2 players, that's a very, very easy way to start closing out games. But I think one thing I really want to talk about right now is Bio. Bio has been extremely strong for Akron in terms of their hard points so far. And I think that this is exactly the player that Phoebes needed, because Phoebes is a main sub. He can't do the AR role himself. He can't be that player who's going to be jumping on the AR, doing that role. And Bio's been a huge answer. He popped off in map 1. Popped off here in map 3. I think he found streaks twice, went on a 9 streak at the end of the game. I said he went burn the first game, but 9 in a row, he is going off. He is going off.
You're not, I mean, I want to formally apologize right away for calling him BO back on Koski.
How dare you?
Get in the hand of the whole names thing. Sometimes it's hard when we don't know. But no, Bio, He's are a menace. Yeah, you are a menace. And he is practically a nuke on the map. They're just doing it all for the team. Like you said, just such a good backbone right now for the Zips in that AR role. And now you're headed to Berlin, another systematic hardpoint map, like you said.
Yeah.
I mean,
this one worries me.
At first, you were highlighting the Redhawks for maybe the systematic maps would kind of favor them, but you saw how comfortable Akron were in their communication for rotating, and they were always on the ball.
Yeah, this really, really worries me for the Redhawks. I think this one could be done in 4 here, possibly. I don't want to count anybody out, but this map, it is very much so like Tuscan in terms of you have pretty consistent spawns. You need to make sure you're locking down rotations, and that is something that Phoebes was doing on a lock through that first game. Even in that last game, we saw a few times towards the end of the game, once Akron got that lead, they really started focusing on the rotations. That's why they're able to get so many kills towards the end there, because the Redhawks were just funneling in through small choke points over and over again, made it that much easier for Akron to be able to close that round out and close that map out, I should say. So when you head over towards towards Berlin, and you're playing a very similar map to what you had in Tuscan in map 1, you need to make sure you find a way here for the Redhawks. You need to be calling players out and counting your players. Don't let anybody sneak through. And then also make sure we're rotating early. We need, like, if it's a back 20, don't be optic. Don't push in towards that hill again. Push towards the new hill.
Why?
I had to call him out.
It's been like, what, 2 days? It's been 2 days.
It was pain for me to watch. So it's
why?
Don't burst rotating. Burst to the
opponent. Yeah. Okay. No, we'll leave it at that. Now, if you're looking at the Redhawks, like, they only need one hard point, Jesse. Their search and destroys, they look good. We saw that Berlin search 6-1. It speaks for itself, but I mean, Bokash search and destroy might be a little bit different, but from the lacking fundamentals and search that we saw from Akron, Miami,
I think they just got to get there.
They just need to get there. And Berlin, it has to be where they go to make it there. You're looking at the Redhawks now to win Berlin, push us to a map 5 to get into their comfort zone.
You're absolutely correct. I would love to see a map 5 here out of these two teams. I think a Bocage Search and Destroy could be a lot closer than Berlin was, just for the simple fact of how crazy that map can be. But we need to get there. The hard part, it starts now for the Redhawks. We'll see what spawns they have. They actually have good spawns to start this game off. They need a big hill number 1 here.
Right away. Time to dance with the devil inside the office of Berlin. Thieves leading in Storm.
Oh, no.
Wow, look at that. They storm the beaches and they find the win. All 4 down. It was so clean.
Oh, this is going to be a really good hold for Akron right here. This is absolutely a 4-man kill right off the rip. You can get as many as you want here if you're the Redhawks, but it is going to be so tough to be able to break back into this hill. Look at them already. They're trying to spread themselves out to try to find a couple of angles here on these Akron players. Oh, Storm reads it just a little bit too late. 2 players have snuck through.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Finds one, snaps to the second. Brewski's in for the connection. Big one-on-one here for Thieves and plays right into that play. Oh my god. Thieves, calm down. You gotta chill. Rando it was not ready for that whatsoever, but like you said, amazing off the bat from Akron. And hey, you say Redhawks, they tried to find angles, but Akron a little quicker to find the better angle.
They absolutely were. Now the rotation over towards P2. We will have Redhawks set up early once again here, and they are in control of the spawns they want right now. You got to keep your eyes on Bio, though, on the top side of the map. He finds one with a grenade, and with that kill, this should actually open up everything here. The bottom right spawn still goes the way of Akron, so Miami, they have the co-spawns. They can keep trying to reinforce this hill, but with the 4-man kill feed, it's going to be really, really tough to break back in now.
What was it that you said at like the start of this? Is you imagine that this is going to be very contest heavy, but if you control that second floor, this could be a full 60 that Zips are set up right in, playing for the break. Here comes Redhawks, finding some kills, but ultimately just keeping the Zips off of this time. Brewski on the edge, pushing in. Q-Pan, Brewski, they find 3, make it 4, and a good break now for the last 15 seconds.
Liking the play I'm seeing from Rando here. He's pushing towards the bottom, or towards the top left side of the map by that crane right now. Big gunfight in the back, and he actually will win it out. So if they can find a few more of these players, as everybody on Redhawks actually collapsing on the rotation, is a perfect rotation here from Hill 2 to Hill 3 here. And now the Redhawks set up for a good amount of time here on P3.
Pan, oh my word. Storm was not ready for that at all. Arxies for the trade now. Good set up for the Redhawks. Here comes Arxies for the break again. You needed to win that here. Brewski for the trade, still keeping his team into this hill, but now fighting for the backline, and Akron with full control of this. You have to be careful for the Redhawks spawning all the way deep into the back. Now they are flooding in 1 by 1, and Zips, they are hoping for that because they have been winning these fights day in, day out so far. But Brewski has a play to wrap around, is going to break in momentarily, forces Akron to take some more gunfights. Arxie's going to be happy with that. 11-5 for himself, having coined the game at this, expecting the break. Panda's going to go down, and this is some good time for the Zips. Look at the mini-map, and Redhawks, they're already looking towards the train station.
They absolutely are looking towards the train station, but this could be a really good setup here for Redhawks. You just can't keep letting these breaks come through. You need to find a way to answer this lane that you're seeing from Akron. You've got Arxies at 12-5. I mean, you're having a slow map out of Bio at 2-6, and you're still getting the score run up on you right now from Akron. Imagine if he starts to heat up, it could get really, really scary.
And a little bit of a gap. Bio sniffs him out.
Oh, and the
Trey
break.
still favoring Zips, and Q-Pen, you need to go big here for your team. Storm just playing on the edge. Thieves finds the wraparound, is going to take him out. So now Zips looking to storm through, get in control of the train yard. Well, the Redhawks try to work their magic all the way around. Here comes Arxies, peekaboo. Good for 1 from the top ropes. Final, oh no, Brewski. Oh, what a shot, snaps on him. Never how to count him out. Still in the back line, looking to cause a ruckus, but not able to break on through.
Thing is you get all these kills to come through, and it's great for the Redhawks. It's you're finding a few kills here, you're finding a few kills there. The issue is, though, is you're still losing out on all these hills because you're just not controlling the spawns. And again, that was Akron. They got control of the spawns in the back. They never lost them at any point throughout that hill. And every time the Redhawks got into the hill, they were able to reinforce just a little bit. But Akron just spawns up so close, they're able to get right back in and reinforce immediately and shut you down if you're the Redhawks. And it's looking very similar to what we've seen in all of our hardpoint maps so far. Akron rotates early, or they break early on and they get control of the hill. And the Redhawks just don't have an answer to it right now.
This is a good answer right now. Bio in Storm trying to help him out. Rando to shut him down. Some good kills right now for Redhawks, and they're transitioning it into time. And this is exactly what you need. But look at what's coming back up, and it is that hill number 1, Jesse. And that is where the snowball started for the Zips first half around. This last hill has been huge, but Redhawks now, they need to pick it up in the slaying factor because they are falling behind. Look at Panda, 2 and 14. A submachine gun of his route needs to go toe-to-toe with the subs of Akron.
He absolutely does. When you're looking at this new hill, this absolutely is where Akron got a huge lead off the start of the game, but this could really be where Miami is able to bring this game back. If they can find a full 4 down and find a way to break into this hill, this is really a good chance. But Thieves finds 3, a menace inside of close quarters. You don't want to go up against this guy. And again, he's shutting things down all by himself. It was a 3-on-1. He found all 3.
Here comes Arxies around the side. Q-Pan, quick to the answer. Bio still on the inside. Swaps the secondary, not good enough. The overwhelming pressure of the Redhawks, great. For the break, Broski, nice shots. 18 to 13. Walking away with 1 HP. Oh, 3 in a row. Finally shut down. It's a wallbang from Bio, but Redhawks have absolutely got snuck back into this. I know it's still quite the deficit, but Redhawks are doing a great job at converting their kills now into time, and that's something they were lacking the first time around.
Yeah, it was a split of time, though. That's the issue, right? You can't keep splitting hard points when you're down 60 seconds because you're just eventually going to lose the game at that point. And Akron, they know that. They know that they can just keep reinforcing or rotating early. But this is a great rotation here from the Redhawks. They find 3 kills on the rotation, and they actually have information on where Storm is as well. They drop a nade, they throw a glide bomb on him. Man is still alive inside of that, inside of the B bomb site. But I mean, they're doing it. They're starting to make their way back, but you can't let Akron hop into this hill for any time here. You need to start to find a full 60 somewhere.
Nothing can stop me when I have fortified on, Jesse. Nothing can stop me at all. Arxies dancing on the inside. Here's the break. Q-Pan. Top ropes, fees, trades. Flip-flopping control right now as the last 16 seconds are looking to go to Redhawks with the setup that they do have. Last time around, were the Redhawks who were here the first time. Akron for the quick break. Brewski leading the charge last time. He's done a great job at slaying. You didn't expect Arxies to be so close on the left. You're looking at the pinch. Q-Pan, Brewski. They all find one. Rando as well to chime in. What a break there from Redhawks. Seamless.
It's the same break from the last time as well. Rando pushes through the docks, gets up in towards the back of the crane, and he's able to find the openings to get inside of this hill. But Akron's not going down without a fight. They don't actually lose all the gunfights inside of the hill. They just lose the gunfights outside and around the hill. So they're still in control of this one for now. You still have the close spawns if you're the Redhawks. And oh my god, look actually how far Storm spawns away from this hill. This should give everybody on Akron a good amount of information that they're still going to be facing Miami spawning up on that top left-hand side of the map, though.
Arxies walks
what
in,
is this?
finds 2. What?
They haven't had the spawns once yet inside of this hill, and I think they've held it down for every bit of time so far.
I think you're right. 5 in a row. Arxies gets the glide bomb. And this is just tough right now for the Redhawks. I mean, they were finding kill after kill after kill, but
they were doing
Akron,
everything right, but getting inside of the hill.
It's just, I mean, get in the hill challenge impossible. Sometimes it just feels like.
Oh, and Peeves, he'll find 2 in the back. Starts to shut the push down once again from the Redhawks. Only 1 player left here. And Q-Pan, you got to think he needs to play his life, but Bio will sniff him out. They're able to drop him down. And I don't think that Akron can win on this hill, but they can get mighty close.
Oh, yes, they can. Here comes the glide bomb right in from the sky. Who's going to be hit with fortified? Well, there's like nobody, in fact. It is going to land on top of a box. So, Q-Pan, when did he get the strafing run? Anyways.
Well, he's 30 and 18, so.
He is. Thieves gets a glide bomb, still back and forth. Majority of the kills going the way of the Zips. His Thieves did find 2. Q-Pan still keeping us going for his team. Thieves around the outside. Side of them off as they rotate on in. Good for 2. Looking for the 3rd, but Rando has to respect the gunfight now. Heading to this hill number 5, Jesse. This is where Redhawks get a majority of their time. They're going to need to mirror that as well, because if Akron gets comfortable, this might be the means to the end of the series.
Absolutely is, but in all honesty, Akron doesn't even need to put a ton of focus on this hill. All they really need to focus on right now, Colin, is holding on to those left-hand side spawns. If you can hold on to the left side spawns and get the rotation back to P1, only needing 30 seconds to close the game out, you got to think with how strong they've looked on that hill, they can absolutely close it out there again.
Brewski, he's going to drop 6 in a row for Akron, converting this definitely into time. Look how far away they're spawning as well, and Thief still has the streak. If he decides to drop it down, it is going to deter the Redhawks from pushing it even more, and look at them push the line. Brewski trying to siege them out from the ropes is Panda, but Bio working that front line. It's another 4 down and 9 points away. We might be looking at Akron to take the series 3-1 now. Only 4 seconds, and it doesn't look like the Redhawks can touch Akron Zips. What a map at the end for the... Wait, no, they got off. Get off, scratch that.
1 second.
Panda's keeping them alive here. Bio working around, working his magic as well, trying to break back in here for the connection. Secondary out as well, hops in, and there it is. He's going to put the nail in the coffin. 250 for the Zips to the 133 of Miami.
It was so rude of Akron to debate you like that and think that you were.
Who said? Did they step off? Like
they did step off the. Well, it was a little bit of a pinch right at the end of the game there. They took one more shot at it. If you're Miami University of Ohio. But unfortunately, it just was not enough. And I mean, when you look overall at this game, he unfortunately has left the game. But QPan absolutely turned up there in that final game there for the Redhawks. He was, what was he, like 33 and 17 at one point? Ridiculous numbers coming in for the fact that they lost that game by over 100 points. So good showing from QPan there. Needs a little bit more out of his teammates in hardpoint if they want to be able to contend with the top dogs right now, it seems like.
You know, I rate the attack, the last effort to get into that. I mean, you know what the saying is, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Michael Scott said it best. And so it doesn't work in the end, but it is a valiant effort from the Redhawks, Jesse, to get their foot inside the hard point as much. I mean, Bokosh looked good. Just the hard points are the monster in the closet. They just can't get over it. Right now, the search and destroys look fantastic, but their hard points are going to need some work.
And it's the opposite for Akron. Akron looked fantastic in the hard points. I mean, we said it coming into this one. They had almost all 3 games against Wright State were 3-0s. Or, sorry, not 3-0s. Were 100-point clubs almost in the hard points. And then when you look at the second time that they played against Rio Grande, again, 200-point clubs. This series, almost 100-point clubs everywhere except for Bacage, but you honestly expect that map to be chaos and to be close. It's very, very tough. If you get a 100-point club on Bacage, I will be very, very impressed. But it's just tough. They need, if they want to contest and they want to be in a lot of these teams' top 25s, I think they need to improve on that search and destroy before they can really be contested and be considered a top 25 team here in the CCL.
I couldn't agree more, Jesse. Let's take a look at the recap of the series, though, for this best of 5, as it did go all the way to that Berlin hardpoint. Only 4 maps were seen into this, and if it did go all 5, would have been Bokosh at the end. But we started off on Tuscan. Quite the map. The fundamentals from Akron are definitely shining when it comes to the rotations, as seen back in that Berlin, if you were just tuning in. But we went to that Berlin search and destroy, like you said. A little bit of a monster for the Zips. 6-1 the other way. Redhawks, they dominate on that map, let me just say. On the back of QPan, dropping 10 kills, but went to that Bokosh. It got a little bit dicey. A lot of back and forth. You get rid of the fundamentals of hardpoint, and you just go for the slaying. And Redhawks were doing quite a good job, but it's not until you see that Berlin and that Tuscan where you really see how hard it is for the Redhawks to keep up with the rotations.
Yeah, it really was. But I think the one thing that if you're the Redhawks that you can look forward to is control's coming. It will be here at some point soon inside of this game. And you got to think that with a control in that game number 3, it really could have been a better shot for them to be able to contest this series or even get their way into it to be able to tie it. So, I mean, you know what? It's unfortunate you take the loss today, but this team very, very clearly is an improved team on last year. And if your esports program can just continue to improve and improve and improve, and even if these guys can get better and better as this year goes along, who knows? I think this team is a very high ceiling.
I couldn't agree more, Jesse. Plenty of evolving to have right now in the CCL. It's only week number 2. We got a lot of action throughout the year. But coming up next on stream, it is going to be our second match of the night on the Alpha broadcast. UTD COD versus UTA Mavericks going head-to-head, and that's going to be Proper and Visions bringing you that action. Myself and Cruz. We're going to take a little bit of a back foot until the closing of the Bravo stream. So if you want more College COD action, check out the Bravo stream. In the meantime, College COD Bravo, as they are working through a matchup of their own. We'll see you guys later. Stay tuned for some more action.